why don't business owners let go of their businesses? What is their hold? Are they afraid of those things? Are they afraid of not being able to take care of their family? Are they afraid of having to pay those taxes? So what are those reasons that they don't want to do this, or are they just not ready for it? Like, with because they haven't had all the parameters in place since day one, the proper documents, a good advisory team, good lawyers, what's the answers
Well,
there?
so Marilyn, maybe you
I was
may,
gonna say Marilyn, go first.
yeah,
Marilyn.
Marilyn,
Yeah.
first,
So what?
because I would imagine that you're on the precipice of doing all of the financial work,
Yeah.
presenting people with the data, and then seeing where things might fall down. So yeah, Marilyn, please go.
Right. So why people wouldn't want to sell? So they're coming to me and they're engaging me because they do want to sell. They do have a reason to sell, whether they don't have a succession plan, anybody in their family take over, or the family's just it. For example, I was working with a company who was 3 generations in, and finally someone posed the question, what if we sell? So they brought us in, they brought a valuation team, they brought us in to understand what their business, its EBITDA is representing, working capital, what the margins are saying of the reported financial statements. And again, 3 generations in, and that first generation was still alive. So those conversations were very emotional, very overwhelming when I was part of the table. The first generation, you had half of the party saying, yeah, whatever's best for the family. The other generations, no, we want to hold on. Second generation, who is in the executive level, are holding on to what their fathers are thinking. We should keep going. The younger generation, half of them did want to keep the company. The other half was just like, no, I can do so much better. Or if we do keep the company, I'd like to run it my way. So we were really brought in to help them have those conversations internally before they went out to market, or even brought in a banker or anybody like that, just to understand where their businesses are, where the flaws are. The vendors, just to kind of revamp their business. The vendors they were using weren't efficient, and they were having situations and cost problems. They wanted to bring in new accounting systems. So all in all, it's all a very emotional process. When it's a family business, specifically, people want to hold on to it for tradition, or not, afraid of disappointing others in their family and whatnot. And then, you then have those boomers that, they should have sold when they were in their 50s, 60s. Now they're entering their 70s and they're still gun-ho. I can still run this for 10 years, but should you be running this for 10 years when you don't have the proper help, and you should enjoy, your life at that point for sure. So what I see, it's a very emotional aspect. The other aspect is, what am I going to do with myself after I sell the business, right? And that's when they need help. I can't tell you how often I'm working with entrepreneurs who develop in this business, and all the cash they've earned has just gone straight into their business. And they never really thought about, and they've been renting in New York City this entire time, don't even own property. And so just having these conversations with, again, it's building your team and having these conversations to be educated on what you can be doing, and helping someone see what was going to happen when you cross that line and selling your business, to know that you're going to be okay, right? Business owners, all they think about their business. That's all they've done for the past 30 plus years. So again, just that's what I see, them not understanding what would happen after selling their business. What do they do with themselves? And businesses not wanting to sell because of the family, or that process takes a little longer for everyone to be comfortable.
Yeah.
I would agree with that, Marilyn. I was working with a family who, the patriarch whose business it was diagnosed with 2 different types of cancers, and was getting weekly injections of immunoglobulin to sort of help his blood stabilize. And the family, they went down the path of sale, and the number that they were going to be receiving was ample to sustain the family and generations. However, when it came time to sit at the closing table, the patriarch was so reluctant that the family actually had to have a family meeting with a therapist to understand why he just wouldn't let it go. And then as soon as he sold it, he wanted, and he was aged, he was in his 70s, and really, again, with 2 types of cancers, really shouldn't have been starting another business. He immediately wanted to put the cash into a brand new business. And so a lot of it is couch time, as I call it, where I wish I had a psych degree, to really help people think through what is it they're going to do after the baby is grown up or out of the house.
Mhm.
So I agree with you more.
And I'm gonna pick up where you said, Lori, two things. One is 4 stages of business that I learned. I wonder, I blunder, I thunder, I go under. So I wonder if I can do this business. I make every error that I possibly can make. I make a ton of money, and that's when I should be selling this business because I didn't sell it. It's going under. So, and entrepreneurs are very reluctant to let it go. Because of the fact of what am I going to do when I'm done? And as a business psychologist, we work with entrepreneurs to build a different life. Because think about it, I have 60 hours a week to fill. What am I going to do with my 60, my 40 hours, or my 80 hours, or my 100 hours? What am I going to do? And we had a woman who wanted to sell her business, and she came to me, and we created a whole life. It took a year for us to create a life for her of her 60 hours a week once she sold the company. And we did it before she even sold the company. So she knew when she did the check that she was going to go travel. She learned how to swim. She learned how to do a gun. She started to do volunteer stuff. I mean, there's so many energies that entrepreneurs, she sat on lots of boards. We applied to board positions. So the fact is that building the life while you're still in the business of what you're going to do afterwards really helps in the 11th hour when you go, I can't let go, I can't let go, I can't let go.